All right, everybody. Okay, so I've got it here. Mic is on. All right, let's go and get the chat up here. Buddy. Oh, wow. That was so angelic. Don't realize I have that good of a singing voice. My goodness. I should try out for The Voice. Oh, hey, what's up? What is going on here? Okay, all right. Hello, everybody. Give me 1 second. I feel like I'm in frame right now. Okay. There we go. I'm trying new setups here, you guys, but I feel like this is the old one that I used to do, where you see the chat and everything. But yeah, we will see how this works out. Yes. Okay. All right, Sharon. Hello, everybody. Anthony. Hi, Manuel. Thank you. Aiden, I have not seen you here. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the channel. Not much, you guys. Just coming here and, see how you guys doing. Just chilling. Living a very exciting time, huh? Things are working out and who knows if the market's gonna be dumping tomorrow. I'm expecting the worst, hope for the best type thing, right? Always prepare for the worst and hope for the best. So that's usually my motto. And anything could happen at any time, at a moment in time. So a lot of time, I usually try to prepare the worst case scenario, right? And so I think that's a good thing to approach life, moving forward. Yes, even though you're excited about a certain things, that doesn't mean it's going to happen tomorrow, okay? So, I mean, with respect to GME, for sure, things is happening behind closed door. And the price is doing its thing, right? We have a overnight Robinhood over here. Price chart. Not much movement here. I mean, with the news reactions and, DOGE is going after the SEC. Oh my God. What is that going to happen? What's going to happen? Sharon's, I'm buying more. More GME. Yeah, I mean, exciting time. Now, I get paid in 3 days, so tomorrow I don't have much dry powder because most of my dry powder has already been kind of distributed. But yeah, I'm fully vested and I'm more diversified now because I have, GME and then now more crypto as well. I would say heavily weighted towards GME for sure, but my crypto is a lot more now. So I would say 60% GME now and 40% on crypto in terms of my overall portfolio here. Oh wait, no. Actually, I have some bonds as well, so that's like more 20%. I forgot to account for my bond stuff, but that's more like safety issue, right? Just in case the market fall off and everything just go to going off the cliff over here, But anyway, so I hope you guys are doing well today. And let's see. Okay. So what do I have to talk about today? Obviously, GME. is the greatest thing on earth right now, to be paying attention to. I feel like if DOGE were to go after SEC, of course, GME is going to have to be the top priority, right? I mean, the biggest scandal 4 years ago. It'd be crazy not to see anything that is happening there. I mean, my speculation is that it might comes up, but there's so many other things that could, they could find out, and two cases that I am so excited to find out, and that is also related to XRP as well, because I think, these two, it just so happened to be the two most, what I'm concentrating in terms of crypto and also in the stock market too. So, and then Bitcoin and all that stuff is also related to GME as well. But, whether we're going to buy Bitcoin or not, there's so many speculation out there. You guys, I feel like we're close, to doing that. I mean, it's more, until I see the paper, then I'll believe it. But if GME were to indeed decided to go with that strategy, I'm not mad about it either, because I know what it can do, not only for the share price, but also the future of the company as well. It's massive amount of growth, massive amount of not only just buying Bitcoin, you guys, like it's the whole industry in general. You could really build on layers of value added in terms of like transactions and all that stuff. It's crazy. The growth is just so massive that people don't really understand like how massive this could be. and again, I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow and the price going to be going crazy or anything like that. But the future is so exciting to me, because I know this world, crypto world pretty well. And, to be able to kind of, at this junction, I feel like it's an inflection point for sure, because, the crypto industry has been fighting for regulation for a long time. And then to come at the point where mass adoption is about to happen and all of this chaos is happening, it's kind of like, okay, fitting to, hey, maybe we're on the precipice of a new system over here, right? Financial system needs a cleanup, that's for sure. I feel like there's a cesspool of like just unbelievable fraud and abuse in the stock market. So again, maybe this has been the agenda all along. Who knows? I hope it's for the good of the people, but I'm pretty optimistic about that point of view. But you never know, any tool could be used for evil too. So, the things that I am very scared of is the tracking thing, right? And so that's why I'm like, hey, make sure you have your value of like free speech, free to transact to whoever you want, unless you commit crime, right? And so, but yeah, that's like later on. I feel like 20 years from now we'll be debating whether who's deserved to see your transaction and all that stuff. But for now, we're still in the infancy, so to talk about that. Man. Anyway, what am I talking about? Like, I feel like I'm just going on and on about nothing. All right, CCP is here. Okay, people don't say it enough, but the best thing to do when you invest is to wait for the opportunity, buy and hold. Okay. That's correct, Anthony. It's a good company, of course, yes. If it's a good company, yeah. I mean, again, that's a simple thing to do, right? The most simple thing is to look at the balance sheets, look at the company, look at the leadership. And if you believe in the company, the mission, and all it, it's aligned with your, thesis, then yeah, that's a simple thing to do. It's just buy and hold and then wait. Because most of the money, it's not in trading, you guys. Most of the money that is being made is, the value that is added over time. When people, if you were to tell people before Tesla become a $1 trillion or more company, 10 years ago, if you were to say, or tell people, hey, Tesla is going to be a $1 trillion company, people would laugh at your face, right? Because at that point in time, there's no measurement of companies of that size. Of course, Apple was kind of the biggest, and the biggest company 20 years ago wasn't the biggest company today. And so that means, again, the biggest company will eventually kind of fall off. And then that's going to give the opportunity for the smaller company, mid-sized company to go up in the ladder. This is how the wax and wanes of the market should be, right? And of course, GME deserved to be in that level for a long time ago. But because of the price suppressions and the things that happens in our market structure, it just doesn't allow it to happen, right? And of course, again, people would love you to think that, naked shorting, it doesn't exist and it's not. No, BS. They could hide it in some, a financial instrument, whether it's swaps, credit default swap or whatever. The counterparty and risk and whatnot, it will come to light. Now, when DOGE go in there, I hope they could find some of that. Hey, because I can, what's up? Okay, hello everybody. I have not seen you here. Bhutan, am I butchering your name? I'm so sorry. But yeah, welcome to the chat. But anyway, so whether they're gonna find naked shorting and all that stuff, and that's like the FTD data, right? That's like exciting. It's like, what if they found out like there's trillions of shares being shorted? Oh my goodness! I mean, imagine the calamity that's happening. And then they would just shut the whole market up. But anyway, I'm just dreaming at this point, you guys. Like, again, unless the evidence presented itself. And I really think that Elon Musk, because he's very well versed of, what happened to his company, he would be so curious about the FTD data as well. And it wouldn't be surprising to me that he would be so curious about whether to look into short naked, that piece of information. And it just so happened to be like that's part of our thesis as well. Whether we're right or wrong, it will remain to be seen. And perhaps we're going to be proven that we've been right all along about what's happening behind closed door. And who's going to be behind it? But for now, it is what it is. Let's see. Nothing much. Yeah, you wrote a letter to DOGE. The CEO of GME, in other words, says he's not buying. Oh, okay. Really? He's not buying Bitcoin? That's fine. That's also good too. I mean, maybe he's just, again, doing research on the blockchain in general and, NFT marketplace coming back in the nearest future, hopefully. I don't know. Okay, so let me kind of do a little bit. I don't know why I draw all this line, you guys. Like, look at this craziness on the chart. I'm like, okay, so how low can it go? So this is the $10 here. And then $15 level. So how low can it go? Okay, I mean, if we could hold 1960, that's pretty good. But I feel like, okay, so let me just take this off real quick. If I draw a fib or whatever this is called, let me see what the retracement is. Is this the right way to draw a fib, you guys? Let me draw it on the candle body over here. Maybe that's a bit more accurate, right? Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so the retracement seems seemingly, again, from the body to the body, we're at the midpoint here. So of course it's been traced there already and then bounce it back there. I mean, you know, and then if it wants to fall, perhaps this is how low it's gonna go. So I'm just gonna take that for tomorrow. Simple, very simple technical analysis here, okay? Don't be betting your house. Don't be doing something stupid, okay? Okay, irresponsible. Don't do it. It's bad for you. I'm telling you. All right, I'm just playing garbage, you guys. Okay, so again, I'm not gonna even tell you what the price and all of that BS because it doesn't matter. It's gonna go up to the right and 1 cent higher than tomorrow. So there you go. But yeah, the future is pretty exciting. Now, as far as the earnings coming up in about a month or so, very excited for that. Of course, we're expecting good things, good things. Just to see, giving you guys a little bit of a, you know, a sneak peek over here. Okay. So just in case somebody's new and doesn't know anything about GameStop here. I'm sure most of you guys are, I'm preaching to the choir for sure. But just in case nobody have noticed what's happening right now, is that, you know, Jimmy has a solid balance sheet and we're setting up for a very prosperous, you know, time in this even, you know, a retail apocalypse. I mean, how amazing is it to have a company that, you know, in a retail space while retail, you know, other retail company are falling like, you know, flies. And again, this is a testament to our leadership, right? For sure, because we have been doing the correct things and the hard decision 3 years ago by cutting stores and, you know, and the most common sense thing to do for the company is to eliminate that long-term debt, right, immediately. And that's what they were able to raise when they raised that money. That's what they were able to do. And when leadership did that, it really signaled to me when, you know, when I thought of it, is that leadership was very serious about long-term prospect of this company. It was not just for MOAS, you guys, okay? It was not just for that temporarily spike. No. Okay, Ryan Cohen is here for a long term. And that's why he paid the debt off and then trying to build the company from then on, okay? And yes, we were burning a lot of cash, yes. But again, we at the same time, we were making cash as well. So, you know, the shareholder equity wasn't like that much, you know, wasn't depleted or anything like that. It was just being replenished by the, you know, the cuts and then the SG&A, you know, the expenses going down pretty substantially while, you know, the net income coming up in the trend. Because if you see the trend, like here, you know, the trailing 12, of net income versus, you know, expenses and all that stuff, you could see the trend there. Yes, I know the media is keeping you up here. Yes, just you know, giving you the attention. It's like, look, they're down 24%. That's bad. Well, down 24%, but their net income going up. That is the basic of what? Operating, you know, business, right? If your business is losing money, you're bleeding everywhere, why would you be like, expanding the store, or, using your capital to expand the revenue? Revenue doesn't really mean much if you don't make any money at all. And then can you imagine if we were to expand then? What would be your operating expenses? It would not be $1 billion, you guys. It would have been $2 billion. Where would you get that money from? Again, this is like close to half, cutting half. And, we don't know what's going to happen in 4 years. Yes, we could feel optimistic about the economy and, whether people are going to get laid off again and not having money to spend into the economy. All of that really play a role. And to be in the position right now where, yes, we could even cut half of our stores still, and we'll still be surviving and thrive. Can you imagine that? Again, cutting stores, footprint or whatever, it doesn't mean bad at all. It means that people could go shop online. Now that's e-commerce, right? Lower footprints, smaller expenses, less costs, right? People could shop 24/7 online. They don't have to go into the store. But the store, yes, it serves a purpose as well. It's a place for gathering for sure, And I just saw a post on X where they were trying to get people to do Magic the Gathering or something like that. So again, it becomes a place of hangout and making, kids wanting a sense of community again. And rather than just stay at home playing games all by themselves, if they want to connect with people face to face, they could go to the local GME store in order to do that. So I think it's a win-win, right? Yes, there are some need to tweak that, right? If they want to expand in that sense where, it's like a business model of just, bringing kids together, families or whatever, or adults too, right? Who likes to play game, Magic the Gathering or whatever. They could do that, or Pokemon show off or whatever. Again, sorry, the terminology, I'm not a card trader, so because I can. Hey, Jesus, what's up? She heard and liked me. Oh, okay. Let's see what's happening over here. Some meltdown on Discord 2 days ago. What's happening? I have no idea what you guys talking about. She's 51. Okay. Timeline, she's... Oh, okay. Thank you. Oh, okay. All right, so let's see. Yeah, so that's just a balance sheet. Obviously, you guys all know that. Should be memorizing it by now, right? Like, we have a negative cash flow, but that's not too bad. Look at it, and we could just gobble that up the next quarter. For sure. Let's see. Okay. So let's kind of look at the what is it? What is this thing? Option chain for some time here. I think I'm thirsty, you guys. What's happening? Okay, let me slurp real quick. Okay, sorry. Okay, so tomorrow we are trading. And this is a option chain. And I'm curious to see, okay, yeah, max pain 26. This could change anytime, you guys. Again, depends on how many people are betting, right? Short dated call or whatever. But currently there's a lot of call out of the money. If it's in the money, crazy things gonna happen, you guys. So let me see what the call wall here is. Yeah, so the 30, right? If we reach above 30 tomorrow, and again, I don't think they're gonna let it go like just like that unless there is a catalyst of announcements, right? Brian Cohen or whoever, right? Rowan Kitty tweeting, oh my God, that would be great, right? In this moment in time, just the right time to do so. Or he's accumulating on the other chain. So let me see. I mean, is there any sign of him accumulating more call option? Typically, he usually buy like, leaps, okay? And but leaps is very expensive. However, he did explain one time. I see. Okay. Snippets of it where he was like, well, unless there's a huge a huge catalyst of some sort, he would buy into leaps. So I'm going to call it. I think he's going to do a June, by June. Or even closer to the March, because it's earnings, right? So maybe April 4th. Let's go with that. Remember when did he say? April 20, the time you cover? Perhaps this is the one. I'm actually eyeing that chain as well. So we'll see. Currently, I don't have any call option yet. I'm still waiting a little bit, but I'm becoming a little bit antsy too, so I might bet a little bit here. Remember, you guys, I'm only doing a small portion of my account here. I'm not going crazy like everything. Majority is share for sure. No calls. But I typically buy closer to the strike price. Again, it's, in my opinion, it's a lot less risky because if it goes against me, I'm only going to close at the loss, and it's closer to the strike price here. I mean current price. What I'm seeing here is still at 22. Wow, max pain is still 22. So it's way above that right now. Yeah, more and more people need to bet on it though. But hold on. Okay, so there you go. 18,000 call contracts, right? In the money. So if these are calls that are sold naked to people, okay, meaning that they don't have shares to back this up, they have to go back to the market in order to buy it. But yeah, I mean, knowing how it's traded every single day, I don't think it's gonna happen during trading time. If anything, they're gonna flood it after hours and try to smack it down again. Very frustrating, right? If you are buying calls, obviously. So typically you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose to the house for sure. But if you could time it right, obviously, you could make tons. But yeah, just be careful. Just limit it to only 1% of your portfolio, you guys, if you wanted to kind of bet up and down like that. But anyway, so let me switch the gear a little bit here, because I think it's worth kind of address a little bit here, because again, if DOGE were to go into XRP, this might also pop up as well. XRP versus SEC has been a case kind of, brought up against XRP. And this is for sure, XRP has been fighting for regulation in this space for a long time. And they even went to the SEC. I think at the time, Bill Hinman or something was the guy who, kind of gave a green light for for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And this is why Ethereum becomes, a kind of like a distraction of some sort. In my opinion, obviously, yes, I know it has some utility there, but the way that it the price rise, it's kind of suspicious in my opinion. Again, you have to go into they call it ETH gate or something like that. And there is a documentary coming up here, but I have to buy it. Like, what the heck? So let's listen to the trailer here to kind of like give you guys, if you guys haven't been, into XRP, I'm sure you haven't seen this or know about it. Again, it's almost like a coordinated attack to attack the most valuable chain. And I saw this happening, at the time. And that's why, it makes me like, oh, I better look at XRP. Why are they going after it, right? So it must be important in some way, shape or form. So
SEC is preparing to sue that crypto startup. The asset in question here is called XRP.
Jay Clayton drops this lawsuit on his last day in office, like mission accomplished.
We became convinced that this whole case was merely a show.
The SEC has become a rogue agency.
And our approach the last several years have been just really a disaster.
Day one, I will fire Gary Gensler and appoint a new SEC chairman.
We don't need more digital currency. We already have digital currency. It's called the US dollar.
The SEC came out and said Ether is also not a security.
We believe current offers and sales of Ether are not securities transactions.
I also have, some theories as to some of the non-legal things that the SEC was trying to do.
He was also being paid as a profit-sharing partner from his law firm, Simpson Thacher. That mission of the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance was fulfilled.
Hinman has this unique personal financial interest. He could not be involved in certain matters because they benefited him financially.
These two individuals are working at crypto firms that made very big bets on Ethereum.
Jay Clayton, within a couple of months, goes to One River, who benefited from this decision. When you follow the money, it paints a very clear picture. China's financial elite working with the U.S. financial elite and the regulators of the U.S. financial system to front run the new global digital financial system.
Who wins? That's the question here. Who wins? Because I think that China wins.
Charles said the Chinese have been courting Vitalik hard.
Dang, that was scary. I mean, yeah, it's a very interesting, and I'm interested to see this full documentary, but I don't want to pay for it, so I'm a bit cheap in that in that sense. But the whole point of that is, I think it's gonna come out, you guys. Again, there's so much corruption that's happening behind closed door, and I really think that ETH was really created to distract the whole world about, what is the real chain over here. Now, I'm not saying, again, ETH gonna succeed. Obviously, it's been around for quite some time and people are used to that. But the way that it was brought up and then, pumped to the masses, that it's going to be smart contract and all that stuff. And it's useful for that. Yes, it's pioneer for sure in that sense to create, a contract of some sort so that, you don't need a permission. And it's going to automatically execute it the way that you want to program it to be. But the result of that is that, when you do that transaction, because ETH, how it is, it's not scalable at all and very slow and very expensive. So every single transaction that you do on ETH, it costs a lot for retail. And, in its early day for XRP, for ETH, because it was only $1 at one point, right? So people don't really care if, it costs less than $1 to transact. But at this moment in time, ETH is like $2,000. So every single time you do any transaction, and again, that's why they have like layer 2, and that's where Loopring came along, right? That's where, and Loopring is the blockchain that GameStop used to build those platform for our NFT. And, remain to be seen, obviously, what I would want GameStop to do is to, maybe look into building on XRP Ledger as well, where it's faster and more, again, modern, right? Modern, quote unquote. But anyway, so Vitalik was the one who kind of like behind, the brain behind Ethereum, but he was actually within the circle of XRP, and he was like floating the idea, hey, XRP need a smart contract, but XRP people were like, well, we don't need a smart contract because we don't want to kind of crowd the chain for that, and we want to do the transaction well, right? And I don't know, somehow, Bill Hinman and all that, Jay Clayton, you know who that person is. I'm sure you're probably familiar with the name because he was from Apollo, right? Apollo. He works for Apollo, this guy. And I don't know about this guy way too much, but, he was a predecessor. So this guy comes first, and then this guy, and then Gary Gensler. So is there a connection there where they're trying to find ways to distract retail? Because at that time, XRP, AMC, all of it to kind of distract retail to buy into the most expensive, highly inflated asset, right? So that they're not looking into something that may be more valuable, like XRP, for example, or even Bitcoin too, right? Bitcoin gotta go because again, it's the Bill Hinman said that it's a commodity, including ETH, but for some reason it doesn't include XRP. Not only that it's not include XRP, Jay Clayton went ahead and placed a lawsuit right after he stepped out of the SEC role. And then subsequently, Gary Gensler carried that lawsuit through until today too. And, it's not much settling right now, but they're still waiting on the final decision. So, but again, there's already a judgment on XRP that it's not a security. So it has some clarity there. So that's why I accumulate XRP now rather than any other coins out there. There's a lot of like rug pull and all that stuff. So be careful on that. I'm not even care about, what Solana, GME on Solana chain or whatever. So, there are some people who promote that. Careful, be careful with that. I heard great things about H-bar, but then I found out that the connection. Yep. I mean, H-bar, obviously, it's like a gossip type of chain. Obviously, it's just a way to tell other chain what's happening. I haven't even looked into it too much, but there was a council, yeah. And there's Microsoft and all that stuff, partner, IBM, all the big names out there, Amazon. And so, again, this might be the spying type of blockchain over here, which, again, that's why I'm kind of like, could be scary if it's fall in the wrong hand. But, I mean, the best thing to do is to fight for freedom at every turn, right? Free speech, free rights to transact with whoever you want to without being tracked. But that's up to the programmers out there. I'm hoping that there are a lot of good programmers out there who don't want to destroy humanity, but to help humanity along. I'm just shooting for like positivity, okay? Like not some dystopia later on in life. 20 years from now, I want to be in a peaceful life over here, retire with dignity type thing. Carter, I think Ryan Cohen was scoping out the new regulatory framework for crypto. Yeah, I really think so too. He's a very thorough at his research, right? So it's not much of a stretch that he would just, go around and just see what other CEOs are thinking about, or how they are, trying to navigate within the new regulatory and all that stuff too. And on top of that, he takes an opportunity to perhaps troll the media a little bit here to kind of rattle their cage for them to be like use, maybe fake them out in some way. Could be a good strategy as well. Okay, next. I hear great things. Kraken? Yeah, I use Kraken as well. I haven't transacted on them a couple of years though. I haven't sell my crypto on the chain for quite some time. Okay. Then the maker had to sue his neighbor, coworker. Yeah, for discrimination. I heard about that too. I mean, people sue each other all the time. That's crazy. Okay. A GME NFT marketplace was closed down. Like 2.5 months. And I don't know what this is. Only open for like a year. Yep. For sure, we were early on in that launched, and it was still in beta. And I know it wasn't as successful as I thought it could be, but I think at that time it was just so much, lawsuits that's happening, and people were just freaking out about it, and it was like a very bad winter. They call it crypto winter. Okay. So it was kind of like at the time being, it wasn't as primed to do the salsa dance when it comes to price action, right? Super cycle of some sort. It was still in a bear market, but it was kind of like received well among the creators, right? Because we have the marketplace for people to sell their arts and become more creative. And so I don't think that people would just forget about it. If it were to relaunch, I'm sure now we have a better grasp on what the industry is going to do moving forward. Perhaps that's what he's trying to scope out too, right? Looking for talent is very easy now for GameStop because we have the recognition of the brand already. So, I don't think if he were to build a platform and kind of hire that team back again, it would be any problem to do that. And it could be very quickly too, to set up that team on the blockchain side. I mean, somebody floated the idea that GME could be an exchange, use Loopring to be an exchange of some sort, trading tokenized stocks of some sort as well, going into that space. But I think it's more technical than anything, more technology based, Not sure how Ryan Cohen would be very well versed on that, because he's more like a e-commerce and selling, buying and selling in retail space more so than the technology person. But he's young enough to learn about that industry too, so I'm not, not worried about that at all. Yeah, so again, I think it's a exciting prospect to even like speculate on. So these two things, I'm so excited to find out what's happening behind this, and whether these people are gonna get in trouble or not remain to be seen. Again, when you are colluding and all that stuff to pick winner and loser, and you are the SEC, you're supposed to keep the level playing field. You're not supposed to be like the one that is, trying to pick the winner and loser. And it seems like these guys are doing that for sure, because XRP didn't do any initial coin offering, but guess what? Guess who does? ETH. Vitalik even bragging about it. Oh, the initial coin offering, they call it initial coin offering. So he would be selling ETH to these, big institution and get a pass. That's a security. That's a definition of security right there. But Bill Hinman didn't got a green light to do that verbally. Obviously, he said that verbally, and so while XRP never sell their XRP to, initially anyway, to any VC or, of that side. And a very frustrating for sure. Back then I had XRP as well. And I was like, yeah, that's not fair. But again, that gives XRP a bad rap for sure, bad reputation for sure because of that. And again, people from all over, the industry at the time, even the Bitcoin people too, that are, again, very enthusiastic about their coins, and very tribal at that. there are people who are just like one coin only. Which I understand, hey, if that's what people are, giving their thoughts to, because again, they do the research, the Bitcoin only type thing. They kind of attacked XRP in their own way. They're saying it's not it's not decentralized, it's centralized, it's a banker coins and all that stuff, without understanding, hey, there's a use case for this, for a real world use case here. And so in due time, people are going to find out what XRP is, because again, there's so many layers to what XRP could be. And I really think this is a prime time to be set up. And with these type of like publicity, I think this chain's going to do very well. But yeah, again, the lawsuit needs to be announced. And when it happens, it's going to give a boost to this chain for sure. But the real test is when XRP is used by all the major banks in the world here. Yeah, whoever doesn't go into XRP is going to have an arms race too, right? Because XRP, if you don't know about it, it's very cheap and fast. So any bank who could deliver that service is going to have their customer to be like, oh yeah, I want to bank with you. It's only taking me 3 seconds to set this up, right? And so it's creating the incentive for other banks to onboard with Ripple Lab as well. Now, Ripple Lab is a company, okay, and I'm sure they're gonna IPO as well. I'm looking for that. If Ripple Lab were to IPO, of course, I'm gonna buy some shares on that too. But initial public offering is going to be high in price for sure. If the company hold a lot of XRP, you guys. So if that's the case, I don't even know if they're going to go public even. So yeah, I think, again, Trump knows quite a bit, or at least being briefed on what XRP is, because Brad Garlinghouse kind of like meet up with him too during the inauguration. And yeah, I think that's why he embraced, the digital asset in general, to try to, like, not just Bitcoin, for sure. Bitcoin is a store of value. Yes, digital gold and all that stuff. That narrative's not going to escape, people's psychology for sure. For, 10 years from now, you're going to hear about Bitcoin being a store of value of some sort. So better have some, right? There's only so much Bitcoin, you guys. So how many billionaires out there, they're going to want some Bitcoin? And so, or states level or corporation level, right? Companies are going to buy Bitcoin too. And if Jimmy were to join that basket, that's also exciting too. Now, again, in my opinion, Ryan Cohen is pretty conservative by nature, so I don't think he's going to buy the whole thing. If anything, it would be making sense, more sense to use just the interest payment alone from the $4 billion. Generating from that, and then use that to buy Bitcoin. That could also be bullish too. Not only that you could buy Bitcoin, you could also keep some cash just in case Bitcoin goes down in price. We have so many ammunition, you guys, like as a company, and even if they smack the price down tomorrow, really, you think people are just gonna sell at 22? It's like, let's say the market freaks out tomorrow, right? And it dumps real quick. You think people are just gonna be like, oh my God, I'm done, 21, 22. Like, let's see if it dumped 20% from then, from where it's trading right now. You think people are just gonna dump it? Crazy. No. Who would do that? You'd be stupid to do it. Okay, I had a thought in my head that Ryan finally say it's blockchain. Then shorter will cause the next Bitcoin winter. Not quite sure I understand that. This year, crypto winter has not happened yet. Yes. So right now we're on the bull cycle for sure, on the crypto cycle. There's every 4 years it does this, where it has a period of wonder if I get it back here. Yeah. Oh, this is not the one. Which one is the one that goes way back? No, not this one. Coinbase. Okay. Try to find the one that goes way back. Yeah, I think this is the one. Okay, so if you were to mark the top here, that's November. Another November. You see how it's like every 4 years it peaks. So is this going to be repeated? So by November of this year, it's going to be another 4 years, right? Let's see, by November. There we go. So by November of this year, you should see Bitcoin peaks. Why? Well, because it's a hash rate or whatever. The miners get cut in half, the reward from miners. And so that means that the supply of Bitcoins is going to be lower every single year. New blocks of Bitcoin is not going to be made. So it creates a shortage, okay, a supply shock of some sort, okay? Because every year there's only a certain amount of Bitcoin could be mined from those transactions moving forward, right? And so initially, let's say you could mine 1,000 coins. And then 4 years later, when it's happening per year, and then next year it's only 5,000, and it's 500 coins being mined. And then the next 4 years, cut in half again, 200, again, it halves every single time. So, I mean, you could do a Googling if you want to kind of look into that more, why that is. But it's just, again, a supply shock, right? So again, real supply and demand, you could see it on here because it's on the chain. You cannot kind of like manipulate it unless, again, because they have ETF and all that stuff. Yes, they can manipulate it through the ETFs. But if you buy Bitcoin straight from the, on chain, you would see, the supply shock there. And that's why you see a lot of like wigs and all that stuff, right? Immediate drop down, liquidation, and also they have future as well. So those things will move the price up and down. But with this cycle, though, there's a lot of institution FOMOing in. And so people were expecting like crazy price action too. So some people even estimate it to be like $1 million. Super cycle here. But that would be crazy, right? And people can be like, oh my God, it would never get to that, right? Well, people keep saying it never get to wherever every time. And then the news going to be like, look, Bitcoin crash. Like, can you imagine if you were here? Over here? You would have been like, oh my God, I'm losing my money. 70% down on the top to bottom over here, right? Top to bottom over here, what is it? 84%. But you see when it crashes, when it peaks, every time it peaks, right? It crashed 80%. But it's only a short period of time. However, if you're like the unluckiest person in the world, right? Every time you buy at a high. All you have to do is just think of it as a long-term asset, right? And it would surely, the peak would never dump down to that. So let's say if it goes up here to $1 million a coin, even if it crashed 80%, it would still be higher than the previous high. See how crazy that is? See, this is the lowest one, but because that was the coronavirus, right? Wait, no, not corona. This is the corona one. Sorry, this is the corona. But that dip was also scary too. Due to, again, people were freaking out. But the whole point is that, this is the asset to be. That's why Michael Saylor is doing what he does and very successful at that, right? But Michael Saylor, I think he's just borrowing against, borrowing from his investor, senior notes of some sort. And I think people describe it as a Ponzi scheme, but I think it's a bit complicated how he does it. Convertible notes and all that stuff. It's above my pay grade. Obviously, I can't explain that. But essentially, he's just using the cheap money in order to buy into Bitcoin. And because he's so bullish on Bitcoin, right? He thinks he's still early among billionaires out there. because there's going to be billionaires arms race here, to buy as much Bitcoin as possible before the nation state kind of get into it as well. Game theory of some sort, right? If you don't get into Bitcoin, you're going to be missing out on the greatest asset in the world type thing. And because it's so liquid, global and all that stuff, you could really buy and sell really quickly here. I mean, people would say Bitcoin's going to go to zero. Well, if you ever wake up in the morning, let's say tomorrow you wake up and see Bitcoin at $0, are you telling me you're not going to buy at least one? So that's the point. It's not going to go to zero. Because again, the world knows what Bitcoin is already, or at least become indoctrinated to the point where, there's no return here. Just my theory, right? And my point is people would buy it like crazy, just like GameStop, right? Let's say tomorrow you wake up and GameStop falls down to $10. You're telling me you're not going to buy more? Right? Because you know what GameStop is already. I mean, with just $10 over here, there's so many volume coming there. Sell volume too, yes. Some people sell so, but there's a lot more buy than sell. We all know that. Any type of volume coming into GME, you be sure that the price will go higher. For sure, Jay. I don't know what the beef between you two is. That's so funny. Let's see. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm kind of like on my way out already. I've been babbling so much, Jay. Not much here, but again, very exciting time to be in. I am running out of ammunition for sure, but yeah, I'm very excited for tomorrow and to see what's happening with DOGE for sure. I mean, Elon Musk has been kind of exposing a lot of frauds and stuff like that. I love what he does because this is what we need. Like, these type of people have been kind of like running the country, and look at how much fraud and abuse that is not taken care of. They get a slap on the wrist, anytime they commit any violations on the security front, and whether audited, FTDs, or whatever, that the law is in place to keep out bad actors. But if the law is not being enforced, how are you going to set up the example for the next generation here? And the new SEC, I feel like he's more of a free market person too, and I think he had something to say about short naked and naked shorting, and I really think that he's the person to kind of like, I hope he's gonna put the short naked people on notice, and not to have people like that. Like if you got caught doing short nakeding, they should lose their license. And if you really say that and enforce that, these people would just like stop shorting the share that they don't have, and rather let the price just do whatever, price discovery. This is what market is all about, you guys. If there's a high demand, the price should translate it. But currently, you have way too many people making way too much money and getting way too much comfortable in that space. And so we need to clean that up because it's not fair for everyone involved here. I always think like if they could bring the price down, keep the price low, that means they could also keep the price high on something that you are buying as well. So artificially, inflating their asset. And so if you want any good companies, you would have to buy those companies at a higher price. While, if anything that they don't want you to buy or want you to have or anything like that, they would, have some sort of tactic in order to make this price so like unbelievable. Like, oh my God, it's been 3 years, right? This type of thing, right? To kind of tiring. But to me, it's not tiring, like, because I know the game. The game is to be long term for sure. Like I said, if they want the price of GME to be artificially low at any given time, then every time you buy into GME, it's like a no-brainer, right? Because somebody, is selling it to you at a lower price. Because if the price were to go higher, they're going to have to buy it from you eventually. Remember, every naked short is going to be a buyer in the future for sure. It's just a matter of time, like whether they're gonna, capitulate or anything. It's like if they don't have money to maintain their short position, right? It's becoming impossible for them. They're gonna close their position for sure. So, and again, there's only a handful of people that we're fighting right now. It's not the whole market here, so we'll be fine. The market's not gonna, shut down or anything like that. So. Just fear-mongering, you guys. There's not enough demand for GameStop. I mean, I would wager it differently. I think there is demand. The demand just not being seen on the lit market on the day-to-day for sure. It's being suppressed. There's countless of algorithm out there, right? Incidents where, you see price doing this thing where it makes no sense. Look at this. See that? I mean, look at this. Like, what? What is this stupid gap that makes no damn sense? Shouldn't you be seeing the sell volume over here higher and then dump? See that? And look at the buy volume over here, and it only gives you what, 1 cent? Not even, just 0. Oh my God. But again, it's a shit show for sure. How the market structure is being allowed to do this is just criminal in my opinion. But again, this is where the SEC should be stepping in for decades on this stock, just for a few years, even back here, right, when they were removing the buy button. Where were they? Like, nobody went to jail for that at all, right? But Keith Gill gets to go to, Congress and having to do what? I mean, the only person that lost his job was Keith Gill. But again, he doesn't have to work, but because he makes money, tons of money anyway. But the point is that, the only person that got reprimanded for that was Keith Gill. And he shouldn't be losing his job either. Why would he, got fired because of that? Meanwhile, the people that are actually colluding to remove the buy button go scot-free. It's like, oh, nothing to see here, meme stock. It's like, okay. And that's another thing too, the media, right? Part of it. And so when he dig around, I wonder if, CNBC is going to be implicated in that. The whole shebang, you guys. Can't wait to see what's happening there. Not enough share for the demand. Oh, okay, not enough shares for the demand. I see. Yeah, perhaps, but again, you know, in the normal market structure, when you have no demand for share, let's say, you know, you couldn't find seller, right? What do? You have to raise the price because, again, you might be able to find seller out here at $50. At this price, nobody's willing to sell. It's like, no, why would I be selling at this? Perhaps over here, right? All-time high. So in order to find seller, they have to bring it up. Because nobody's willing to part their share with their shares right now. And so, yeah, buyer have to step in. But again, you know, they're probably trying to kind of gauge what the the earnings report's going to be. And so they're waiting, you know, to kind of like, okay, because most of the institution, you know, they're just like sitting on the sideline. And they don't necessarily, perhaps they don't even know what GameStop is, right? Most of them. And so, in my opinion, we're still so early into this company. And on top of that, they might listen to the mainstream media and they're like, oh, GameStop is just a meme stock, right? The reason why it goes up, it has nothing to do with the fundamental or whatever. So they might just kind of sit on the sidelines still, even though they see the, you know, the price going up. It's not necessary that they're gonna, you know, buy into it at all. So that could be the reason why you don't see the demand there either. So, but yeah, I mean, mostly we're holding strong, and yeah, I really think we're gonna do something amazing within this next couple of fiscal years over here. So I have no worry whatsoever. All right, guys, I think I am babbling long enough. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you when I see you. Okay.